So let's have a look down, make sure everything there is okay. Yeah. Let's just have another try of refreshing the page. Oh, I think it actually did work. Yeah, okay, I think there was just a slight delay in loading the data in. So I think, yeah, it did work. So you can see now we've just retrieved this value. And what's more important, you've obviously noticed that by clicking submit, the page hasn't refreshed itself at all. So click submit, the page doesn't refresh itself, it just loads in the contents of include.inc.php. Okay, so now what happens if we want to make this load function a bit more dynamic? So for example, I might want to load in a specific file into a specific div. So I need to specify some arguments in my load function. So the first one I might want to specify is the div that I want to load the data into. So in this case it would be a div. And then the second parameter or argument I want to give it is the file that I want to load into this div. So that might be include.inc.php. Now this function would be a lot better because it means you could reuse it over and over again. And it would be really, really useful if you had a page where you wanted to insert some dynamic data into many different divs and wanted to do this using lots of different buttons, or in actual fact when the mouse was moved or something like that. So we are going to use this to our advantage and create a fully rounded function that's going to allow us to do this. So we want to load into ADIV. This is the first argument, and load this file into ADIV, which is the second argument. So let's go ahead and make the change first of all in this load part of the function. If you're used to functions, then this will be pretty straightforward, but I'm going to go through it anyway just so we know what we're doing. So the first one is the div, and the second one is the file. Okay, so we've got the div which we're loading it into and the file. So all we need to now do is go down and make the changes. So the div here is specified as a div, but we want this to be dynamic depending on what we pass through this function. So this is just going to be the div. Now let's go down. This again needs this file here needs to be dynamic, so this is the file. So it's really as simple as that. Now what we've done is we've created ourselves a dynamic function that's going to load any file into any div. So let's go ahead and change the name of this div. So another div, for example. We've just changed the name of it to demonstrate the use of this function. So now let's change this to another div. And we'll keep the include file as it is, but we'll change the content. So hello everyone. Okay, so let's go ahead and come onto our page. When we click submit, what this is going to do, let's just go to our page source. Oh, I'm translating it to English. Right, let's go to page source and go down. So it's a loading into another div, and it's loading this file here into another div. So let's go ahead and click submit, and you can see that hello everyone has been loaded into the div another div. Let's go down and have a look there, and we've got div ID equals another div. Now because of the nature of Ajax and the way it works, you can see at the moment that there's nothing contained within this div, even though in here we have the text hello everyone. So there's no need to worry about this if you're looking at a source file thinking, oh, nothing's in there. It won't actually modify the HTML because it's asynchronous and it does it without refreshing the page. We're not going to be updating the HTML code as well, so you won't find your text that you are putting into your div actually within your div. It's just going to be done on the page itself to the people that are viewing it, so it's not actually going to be put into here. So what we've done in this tutorial is we've looked at creating a function that loads in two arguments, and this is on the click of a button, but this could be on any HTML state. So it could be when you start typing in a text field. So we're going to look at tutorials later on that deal with more complex PHP that is going to put values onto our page depending on what we type or when we move the mouse, etc, etc. So we've gone through and we've checked for certain things, set this HTML, XML, HTTP variable. We've checked for the state change, and upon the state change we've modified the contents of the div, and then here what we've done is we've specified the file that we want to open, and we've used this send to send the data. So that's basically simply opening a file using Ajax. This is pure Ajax, so we're not using anything like jQuery here. jQuery is easier, however I do recommend you do learn this and learn how to do this, because it's going to be really useful later on when you want to write in pure JavaScript and use Ajax as it should be, as it's intended to be. So that's it for including a file using Ajax without refreshing the page.